Hey YouTube, Kira Twig here, bringing you all an update to my Sacred Beast Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile for December 2018. It's actually been quite some time since the last update to my Sacred Beast Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile. I never really like it when my deck profiles go over a specific time span since the last update, and it's been over a year since the last one, so I definitely feel that this deck was due for an update. It's very fun. The whole point of the deck is to basically summon out the three different Sacred Beast monsters, Raphael, Uriah, and Haman. So I decided to finally update this deck just with the new ban list out as well. I felt it was definitely time just to see all the different things that have changed with the deck. Also, may want to get an update for my Egyptian God deck later on. I know I recently did a Nordic deck with the Azer gods, but I feel Phantom Beasts are first, and then maybe we'll see the Egyptian gods later down the road. But let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So to start off for the Sacred Beasts monster ratios, to Raphael, probably the best one in the deck just because of its own spell card that you can use to get out Fiend tokens that you can then use to tribute out Raphael, and just having 4,000 attack and defense. Using all three of these Sacred Beast cards together, I feel that Raphael would probably be the easiest one just to summon out through the standard methods and not using any of the new monsters and spells we have for the deck. But I like to run two of it also just because of the fact that it has 4,000 attack and defense, so a good beater overall for sure. I also run two Haman. Now, this card can't be summoned usually in this deck with its own tribute using the continuous spells. Great on its own if you use it in things like Crystal Beasts or anything that makes use of a lot of continuous spells. But in this deck, you get it out mostly with your Dark Summoning Beast, which we'll get to in a bit. But once again, I run two of this card just for the fact that it has 4,000 attack and defense, so really can't go wrong with any of its attack stats or defense stats for sure in this deck. And I also run one Uriah. Now this one gains attack for the continuous traps you have in the graveyard, which we do run some in the deck. So you have that option available to you to boost it up. But just having that Uriah option available definitely does come in handy for that. Usually would have to tribute continuous traps to special summon this card out. But other than that, it also has the effect for once per turn, you can target one set spell or trap your opponent controls, destroy that target spell or trap. Cards cannot be activated in response. So you have that destruction effect, which Uriah definitely does come in handy for. Some of the other ones also with the destruction and inflicting damage with Haman, and also just having the Phantasm token special summon off of Raphael, also available to you, definitely does come in handy. But for other monsters to help support it, we have the Dark Summoning Beast. This card is basically made for the deck. It's very, very good. You can tribute this card to special summon one Uriah, Haman, or Raphael from your hand or deck, ignoring the summoning conditions. Also, monster you control cannot attack for the rest of this turn, and you can only use the effect of Dark Summoning Beast once per turn. You can banish this card from your graveyard to add one Uriah, Lord of Searing Flames, Haman, Lord of Striking Thunder, or Raphael, Lord of Phantasms from your deck to your hand. So that last effect definitely does come in handy with Phantasmal Meteors, which we'll get to in a bit, which has the discard cost, so you can get your special summon, so you want to at least be able to add Raphael to your hand to tribute summon it out. But this card makes all your plays as well, so the biggest thing you want to do is either special summon this card to the field to tribute, or be able to have a monster on the field before you normal summon so you can tribute summon it out. And to help with those cards, I run three Dark Grepher. This is just an easy special summon. You run plenty of level 5 or higher dark monsters in the deck to use. And once per turn, you can discard one dark monster to send one dark monster from your deck to your graveyard. So just being able to set up that graveyard play as well means a definite 3 of for Dark Grepher in the deck. And then just having some higher level 5 monsters to run, I run two Frizzen. This is a great card just for easy special summoning from the graveyard as well if you discard it with some of your other cards for the deck. And then just being the tuner option, having synchro monsters to go for in the extra deck, which this deck doesn't really limit you too much on extra deck plays. So having those open for you definitely does come in handy. And new on the ban list, two Destiny Hero Malicious. I still like running it in the deck just so you have the option of the special summon of the one Malicious can help for that tribute as well, getting Grepher and sending it to the graveyard, then grabbing the last one from your deck. Like I said, definitely helpful for sure. And then for more added sends, the one Armageddon Knight, getting the Dark Summoning Beast into the graveyard for its second effect for the search, definitely needed as well. And I also run 2 Summoner Monks just for options of special summoning out monsters, including maybe Armageddon Knight, then just having those options on the field to use for extra deck summoning. I really like Summoner Monk for that potential play in the deck. I always did, so he definitely stays. And lastly, 2 Stygian Street Patrol. If this card destroys a monster at battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to the original level of that monster in the graveyard times 100. But I more like it for the effect where you can banish this card from your graveyard to special summon 1 Fiend-type monster with 2,000 less attack from your hand. Now it's great because Dark Summoning Beast is a Fiend-type with 0 attack and defense. The only reason you use this card is to get out your Sacred Beast monsters. So making use of your Stygian Street Patrol as well in the graveyard definitely does come in handy there. And you're able to summon it with Summoner Monk, so being able to get it in the graveyard with either a Link Summon or an Exceed Summon can definitely come in handy as well. And that is it for the monsters. Moving on to the spells, I run 3 Fallen Paradise. This is your field spell for the deck. Your opponent cannot target Uriah, Haman, or Ravael, or Armatile with card effects in your monster zones. Also, those monsters cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. And while you control them, if you control Uriah, Haman, Ravael, or Armatile in your monster zone, you can draw 2 cards. You can only use the effect of Fallen Paradise once per turn. The draw power with this, just with how invested you can go in your plays, definitely does come in handy. So he's a definite 3 of in the deck for sure, just for the protection and for the draw power for sure. And also, I run 2 Terraforming, just standard, so you can get the field spell faster. But if you have multiples, then it's just easy cost for your Summoner Monk to get off those special summons. So you never really have the dead draw options for you in this deck. I also run 2 Phantasmal Meteors. This one, you can only activate this card while you have 2 or more cards in your hand and have either Uriah or Haman face up on your side of the field. By sending your entire hand to the graveyard, special summon 3 Phantasmal Meteor tokens in attack position on your side of the field. Those were what you'll use most of the time to get out Ravael through normal means, meaning you'll have the Fiend tokens on the field to tribute out. Very, very helpful for sure if you can get out Haman or Uriah through Dark Summoning Beast, and then maybe even having it, for the tribute, and then having it in the graveyard to search out Ravael, because you have to discard your hand. But most of the time, you can have cards in your hand that then you can just obviously use in the graveyard, so it definitely does come in handy, but very helpful for the tokens on the field for sure. And with all the dark monsters, just for extra draw consistency, 3 Allure of Darkness, very helpful, just needing to get through what you need to make your plays. And also 1 reinforcements in the army, so you can search out the warrior monsters we run, whether it's Dark Grepher or Armageddon Knight, definite need in the deck. And then for more special summon options, I run 1 Monster Reborn and 1 Soul Charge just for more graveyard plays. With all the monsters we go through, these cards definitely do come in handy for sure, especially if we can't even attack because of getting out Uriah, Haman, or Ravael. Soul Charge definitely does meet up with those plays for sure. And I also run 1 Burial from a Different Dimension just to reuse some of the banished monsters that we had, whether it be Stygian or the cards from Allure, you name it. This card just helps to reuse them in the graveyard, or even Destiny Hero Malicious. And lastly, for the spells, 2 Call by the Grave. I know it's back at 3, but I wanted just to keep it at 2, just so we have a little more room to stop hand traps with the search and draw for sure in this deck. Those would definitely cut in for a lot of our plays we want. But like I said, happy with 2 still, just for those options in the deck. And for the trap cards, I run 2 Escape from the Dark Dimension. You target one of your banished dark monsters and special summon it, and when this card leaves the field, destroy that. If you do, banish it. When that target is destroyed, destroy this card. Just more easy special summon with your banished cards if you don't return them with return Burial from a Different Dimension. Having those special summon options definitely does come in handy for sure, depending on what kind of monsters you were trying to get out. And lastly, I run 2 Back to the Front. Now, the biggest argument I had with this card in the deck is with the continuous trap Call the Haunted, you can definitely make use of the continuous trap for Uriah's bump up. So if you wanted to take out Back to the Front for Call the Haunted, you can do that. But with all the weak monsters in the graveyard having weak attack, just playing more defensively with Back to the Front is why I like to run this card. And that is it for the main deck. We'll now move on to the extra. I run 2 Wee Witches Apprentice. It's just easy, 2 dark monsters to make this link summon. Then boosting all the dark monsters definitely does help with all the different ones we do run in the deck for sure. And the research ad definitely does come in handy as well. Also 1 Underclock Taker, 1 Nightmare Phoenix, and 1 Nightmare Cerberus for the other Link 2 options. For Link 3s, I run 1 Triple Burst Dragon and 1 Topologic Trizbana. And then for the Link 4s, I run 1 Borreload and 1 Yugioh. With all the special summoning we can do, if you don't go for the tributes or just, the options for the Dark Summoner Beast and you have more monsters to spare, these ones definitely do come in handy for sure. And then for the Exceeds, I run 1 Sky Palace Conqueror die. The option could come up sometimes with your Sacred Beasts just to overlay them for more aggressive play, and Sky Palace or Gustav Max definitely does come in handy. And I also run 1 Tornado Dragon, 1 Baguska, and 1 Abyss Dweller for the rank 4 options with all the different ones we run in the deck. Definitely does help. And for the Synchro options with the Frissons, I run 1 Yazi and 1 Black Rose Dragon. So you have Synchro options available to you when you obviously special summon out the Frissons if you need them available to you. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Like I said, definitely was excited to finish up this deck for you all, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.